So my name is Ananya Malhotra and I did my undergrad from Lady Shri Ram College for Women. I majored in history with a minor in political science, and while I was studying I was very keen on going for a master's abroad, and with the help of IDC I applied to a couple of colleges in America and United Kingdom. So I got into King's College, which is in UK. I got into Carnegie Mellon University, which is in Pittsburgh, America, and American University, Washington, D.C., where I'll be going. I am going to be pursuing a master's in public policy, and I received scholarships both from American University and Carnegie Mellon University. Selection process itself, there were many meetings where I explicitly explained what I'm looking for, what kind of place I want to be in, the culture over there, the kind of academics I'm looking for, the academic rigor, as well as future opportunities, which enable me to understand that my tilt, especially for the course I want to pursue, which is public policy, was better in the United States. So Carnegie Mellon was a place I was keen on, and which was also recommended by the mentors to me. I think Shilpa ma'am really connected with the kind of universities I wanted to apply to, and they gave me an exhaustive list of all the places that they thought would be the right fit for me. And the interesting story is that it's after the selection process, when I got my acceptances, that I was confused between Carnegie Mellon and American University, but I feel like the mentors really handheld me and enabled me to understand why AU was a better option for me, considering it's in DC, and the academic program is such that I'll be working along with my studies, and I'll be able to intern with a lot of think tanks, work with senators, which was not really possible in the other places I got into. I think the feedback I got from my mentors, Shilpa ma'am, Parmita ma'am, especially on the essays and the statements of purpose, were very, very succinct to the point, and they gave me additional tips, such as, something as simple as putting in a hyperlink, attaching my certificates, attaching the videos that I had taken while I was doing community service or volunteering, which really made my application unique. And I felt like these little things, which normally you don't get to know or come across, enable my application to stand out. And I think these are the small things which highlight your application in order to get something like a scholarship. So they gave me very valuable feedback on all of my essays or writing material. I think the additions they made, or the simple edits, one or two words here and there, or for example, encouraging me to attend the sessions that the universities were holding, allowed me to echo as a candidate what the university was looking for, and enable me to get my acceptances. So I think these things were some things that I especially valued, and it helped me get where I want to go today. The challenge every candidate faces is very personal. It can go from having troubles writing your essays, but with me, although I think I was good with the writing part, my writing pieces would get approved pretty fast. The only thing that I had an issue with was my recommendation letters, because there are very tight deadlines. And I think the advice I got, which really helped me and saved me, was to have a larger list of recommendees, so that if somebody backs out and if you're not sure if somebody's going to put in the letter, there's something that you have already, where there's a backup option. That was a piece of advice I got really early on in my application process, and it really saved me, because one of my recommenders was not in a position to put in the letter at the last minute, but thankfully I had a backup option, and it could have damaged my entire application process, and I'd worked very, very hard on all of them. So this is one big piece of advice that helped me to seamlessly put in all my applications on time. So I personally didn't just think of Shilpa ma'am and Parmita ma'am as my mentors. I thought of them more as my counselors. If even if I was having a bad day, Shilpa ma'am would call me, reach out to me, text me, which I think really added a human touch and enabled me to also put in my best, because I felt like they were reciprocating the same passion that I was doing the process with. So if I had to change one thing, I would probably want to meet them in person instead of the online process. But yeah, the online process is extremely convenient. But if I had to, I wish I could meet them. I would personally highly recommend it because the study abroad dream or the goal doesn't just start with deciding your universities, getting those acceptances. There's a lot of hand holding that goes into it. There are a lot of things that could go wrong in the process. As I mentioned, my experience with the recommendation letters. So, it's very important to have people who are always there for you, who are always on your team. I think the communication channels are so well established that you can reach out to Shilpa ma'am, Parmita ma'am anytime and they get back to you. Shilpa ma'am got back to me so promptly in situations where there was an emergency, and they echo the same kind of passion that you have for a course that you want to apply for. For example, mine was public policy, it could be an MBA for you. There's so many different things and passions that we want to know about, and I felt like they did an in-depth research of everything that I was interested in, especially with the list of universities they gave me. It just made the process much easier. So their human touch, I think their years of experience and their ability to understand the candidates psychologically, to understand the level of intellect they have, and recommending universities according to that, tailoring and helping you up your essays, you up your game in your application. Those were the things I really value.